Yellow journalism is clickbait's precursor, and while clickbait is mostly, "you won't believe what happens next," generally playing to your curiosity and positive emotions, yellow journalism played the opposite end of the field.
Spanish ships on our coast died in folds of old glory. Main explosion caused by bomb or torpedo. Spaniards search women on American steamers.
It's blatant fear-mongering, probably false, and terribly effective. Publications like the New York World and the New York Journal dedicated most of their space to shocking stories that were sensationalistic at best and fabricated at worst in an attempt to sell as many copies as possible. Because each issue was just a handful of cents, the focus was on quantity instead of quality, and a much higher priority was placed on the cares of advertisers than readers. The name itself stems from the Yellow Kid, a character in a comic strip that appeared in both Joseph Pulitzer's New York World and William Randolph Hearst's New York Journal, because the character was never copyrighted. Comic strips were another instrumental factor in appealing to the lowest common denominator, and the Yellow Kid's comic was one of the most popular at that time. Because yellow journalism was so successful, it escalated way out of control, to the point where Hearst's publication was instrumental in starting the Spanish-American War. After all, when your business model is based off of peddling fear, what's better than escalating international violence? One famous example is the way the New York Journal spun the mysterious explosion of the USS Maine, which killed 274 people and whose cause still remains unknown. There are several potential explanations for this, including an external mine detonation, an undetected coal fire, and maybe the Spanish. The New York Journal seized the opportunity for hysteria and reinterpreted maybe the Spanish or a bunch of other things as it was definitely Spain. And in case you're thinking, this could all be a big misunderstanding blown out of proportion. When one of Hearst's photographers was sent out to Cuba to get some battle pictures, he sent back, "Everything quiet. There is no trouble here. There will be no war. Wish to return." In response, Hearst said, "Please remain. You furnish the pictures, and I'll furnish the war." It's unfair to say Hearst is single-handedly responsible for the war, certainly, but had he not fanned the flames, things might have gone very differently. But clickbait hasn't killed anyone yet. Yellow journalism's closest modern parallel would actually be tabloids, but they've lost a lot of popularity, and more importantly, political power. The internet has made ridiculous claims much easier to falsify, so nobody's going to believe their purported affairs between Elvis and then Bruce Jenner. Instead, clickbait is essentially a different approach to the same goal: maximizing circulation. They use the same technique of using the headline to grab your attention with something intriguing, but clickbait's generally more vague. Turns out, it's better to be misleading than blatantly false.